how's it going? This is Eric with Ezekiel E Photography, also known as Zeke, and this is another story coming to you from my favorite place, from my think spot, my car, the little red Fiat that I get made fun of all the time because it gets pretty snowy out here in Oklahoma, and I don't know why I still have this car out here. Anyway, enough about me. So this person I'm going to talk to you about today has been a very influential person in my life, and she has taught me the power of faith and being able to connect with something greater than yourself to do things that have the ability to move mountains. Not physical mountains, but the different challenges that we have in our life. And I had the opportunity to drive down to Texas a couple of weeks back from Oklahoma to spend some time with my grandmother. So this story is about my grandmother and about her faith and the opportunity I had to speak with her as well as take her photograph. So a little bit about her. I saw her growing up as a child, always praying for everybody. If anything was happening, she would say, I'm gonna go pray. And she literally would stop what she's doing, go to her room where she has pictures of everybody, all the family and everything, and she would go and pray for whoever it was that needed prayer in that moment. And I don't know exactly what she was praying about or how she prayed, but I know that she prayed, right? That was just what she did. So because of that, we've had a lot of different things that have taken place in the family, and through the power of prayer, we were able to, get through these things pretty amazingly. So I'll give you a story that took place recently with her and how I really truly saw faith work in her life. And this happened after my dad told me the story about what he experienced with her a couple of years back, and this happened to be right during the height of COVID. So my folks were staying with my grandmother because she basically was having some challenges living alone. So family does come down and stay with her all the time. So they alternate who stays with her for whatever time frame it may be. And my folks happened to be down there at that time. And she ended up, they've been like wearing masks, keeping her safe, everything. And she ended up getting COVID during that time. Even with all the precautions and everything that we had, it's just inevitable. Just people ended up getting it. And at that time, there still hadn't been like the vaccination or the medications and everything to really help these people. And everything we hear on the news is people end up going to the hospital, putting on a ventilator, and it's over, right? You don't get to see your family, people pass away. So it was this huge fear factor that was taking place during that time frame as well. So obviously when she did get sick, everybody took up whatever precautions to make sure that she stayed healthy and everything, so that they didn't end up in that predicament, that she didn't end up in the hospital. Well, about halfway through her illness, her oxygen levels started to drop down in a pretty bad spot. They were in I believe the 60s is what my dad told me. And so he communicated with her physician and he said she needs to go to the hospital. So we all knew what that meant. Obviously the fear was just crazy and everything that was taking place, and people were really, really panicking. The family was. And of course, grandma, even though she was already you could tell that her oxygen levels were low and everything because she was very disoriented. And she had a conversation with my dad. My dad let her know, listen, we're going to take you to the hospital. And she says, let me just stay one more night at home. Let me pray, and we'll make a decision tomorrow. And I guess after everything took place, my dad asked my grandmother, like, well, what did you pray for? And this was her prayer. She literally asked God, she said, I don't want to go to the hospital because I know what's going to happen if I go there. And if that's the case, just take me tonight. And if it is your will for me to stay and be here for my family and do what I need to do, then you will help me get through this, and you will, help me get better, right? I don't know exactly how she prayed, but it was something like that. Anyway, so the following day, my dad gets up and goes into her room to do the pulse or the oxygen levels again. And her oxygen levels were at 92. 92. I'm telling you, like, that woman has the ability to just connect on a deeper level. And that's why she's been so influential in my life. And I mean, that's faith in action right there. It's so amazing how that worked. I can't describe it. And she's in her 90s, you know, she was in her early 90s at this time, you know, so that's a death sentence for most people at that time. She already had some pre-existing conditions as well, but that's the most amazing thing ever. So I had the opportunity to go down there and spend some time with my grandmother, you know, who has just been a huge part of my life. Sat down with her and she taught me how to make her famous pumpkin pie that she makes every single year for the holidays. And just to be in occupy the same space with such a powerful person is amazing. And I asked her, hey grandma, what do you want to do today? Let's get out of the house and do something different. And I said, where do you want to go in town? And the little town that I grew up in is called San Angelo, Texas, way out in West Texas. She goes, I want to go to the lake. So she hadn't been to the lake in years. So I said, you know what, let's go to the lake. And my Aunt Yolanda happened to be there at the same time. So we all packed up the car and headed out to the lake to let grandma just take in the air, take in the sun. And of course I had my camera and my lights and stuff. And I said, this will be a perfect opportunity to do some portraits. So I got to take some really great portraits of my grandmother, just sitting there and enjoying herself and creating memories, you know, listening to stories. And at the end of the day, photography is such a beautiful medium to be able to capture people and just listen to their stories and use those stories to take the photographs of them. And I'm very blessed to have this ability to be able to capture people, and it's so much fun and I absolutely love it. So that's my story for today, and I have many more stories that are coming, many more wonderful people to meet, and I'm excited. And something that you're going to hear me say every single time at the end of these videos is that your story matters. Everybody's story matters, and everybody has a story that needs to be told. So I look forward to telling your story one day. Again, my name is Erik with Ezekiel Photography, and I look forward to the next one.